Good morning. It's Elsie. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm definitely going to send this video today, not wait till tomorrow. Okay, so I worked on the Russian project last night instead of the other one. I'm telling you, it's so interesting. Even though this is the same size fabric, 18 count, and I'm using 2 threads, just like the other one, somehow I like the way the stitches look so much better on this. So this is what I worked on up here. These are actually 2 clouds. And it's funny because when I picked this up for the first time, after not having looked at it for a while, I have my hoop on upside down and I forgot. So I looked at this side and I could see that I don't know if you can see it here, but I could see that the fabric was blotchy. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I start this on the wrong side of the fabric? But then I realized I put my hoop on upside down. And so I am not on the wrong side of the fabric. I'm on the right side. So this fabric is really subtle. I don't know if you can see it. I forget what it's called, but it has kind of a beige tint and it's not uniform all over. And I love it because it just gives a subtle something to the background of this pattern, because there are some empty spaces, I feel like, in the pattern. And so it just kind of gives it a cool background. So I'm psyched about this pattern. There's a giant sun and a giant moon on it. I mean, what better of a pattern could there be? So I was really getting into this last night. I was like, oh, I love this pattern. There's, I don't know what it is. If it's the colors that I chose for that other pattern, but maybe I just hate long dog sampler patterns. I don't know, but I'm really struggling with how it looks. So I started doing this. This is the first page of this. So I've got these 2 clouds and then I've got this giant sun, which is going to be so awesome to do. So we'll see. I'd love to get these clouds finished tonight and then move on to the sun. I'm trying to see how many colors is the sun. 1, 2, 3. It's really only like 3 with a tiny bit of a 4th color. So that should be pretty smooth going. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Put that back in there. So for the other one, I've decided to do a little experiment. So this is the rest of the fabric, the watermelon fabric. And I had planned to do another pattern. Excuse my language on the pattern again. I'm a bit of a potty mouth, but this is something I say a lot. So this is the pattern. And it's a monochromatic pattern. And so I think I'm going to do it on this and use the dark pink that I got as the color of the woman. And then I might just do black as the color of the words. And before I do it, I think I have enough fabric. This is a pretty big piece. Because she is going to be 6.7 inches by 5.4 inches. So, but I have to add 6 inches to each of those measurements. Well, I could probably add 4 inches and that would be enough, but I have to have enough to be able to frame it. So I want to take an edge of this fabric and see what it would look like with 1 strand instead of 2 strands, because I am interested to know. And then I'll decide whether to do this in 1 or 2 strands. But I want to do the whole thing with the dark pink because I think it will look really cool. So, because in my mind, I'm like, I could undo all the stitches I've done on the long dog sampler and redo it in just the dark pink. Maybe even forget about the crowns. But the issue though, I would have to do it if I redo it like that in two strands. of floss because the holes are going to be really stretched out, and I don't think it will look good in that section if I try to do it with one, if I decide I like one. So that is the thing. But anyway, so I think I'm going to try to start this tonight. I'll probably use this hoop, which I already had. And so I did order 2 new hoops. This is the Q snap. This is how it comes. This is an 11-inch. It feels really heavy, but it won't be as heavy because I'm going to hook it to my 2 of my 8-inch. Hopefully the first one that I got was a legitimate Q snap and not a knockoff, because this actually does not look like exactly what I have. We'll see. Because otherwise it's really pretty heavy. I'm kind of surprised at how heavy it is. That would be very heavy to hold. Yeah, so we're going to see about that. And then I also just got this, which is a bigger version of this. This is much lighter. So yeah, it's nice to have a square hoop, although I will say the hoop that I'm using for the Russian project, it's light and it holds tight. The only problem is I was thinking about when I picked it up yesterday, it's going to leave a crazy wrinkle, you know, like it's going to have a very deep groove in it that I'm going to have to get out with an iron. And fortunately, yeah, I mean, you really have to use steam. So hopefully nothing will run like the fabric. That's the only thing I'm worried about running. I just borrowed, I don't own an iron because I don't want to own any clothes that need ironing. But I do need an iron for this to get out the wrinkles before framing things. So I did just borrow my neighbor's iron yesterday. I'm going to iron out the pattern with the little cat on it and try to center it, get it in that frame. So hopefully I can show you that framed piece tomorrow. I'm so excited because it will be the first piece that I've done and kept for myself and framed. I do have another one that a friend is making a frame for, and that would be my second piece. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think that's all I had to tell you today. It's so fun, this experimenting and, you know, just trying to make things look cool, have the right tools, all that kind of stuff. I really love it. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow.